morning, YouTube. Sorry, I am in my robe as I do a lot of my morning things. I want to title this So You Want to Become a Better Sight Reader. Find out where you are. That was by I was going over this minuet in G minor, and I am not the best sight reader by far. A lot of the stuff that I do, I am practicing sight reading techniques. I'm practicing sight reading techniques such as looking over or glancing over a sheet, and from my sight reading techniques, I'm basically clicking in my memory and what I know about music to complete a piece. But that, in my opinion, is not a good sight reader. That is not a good sight reader. And if you want to become a better piano player, pianist, musician, the first thing, and I've heard a lot of good advice about sight reading, but for those of us that have a relatively good ear, that can be to the detriment of you. Take this song by Billy Joe in the key of C, and I'm looking at it right now, and it's just the way you are. So we're gonna start off with the try not to be too loud in the morning. Looking for patterns. We're going to go with the A and the F sharp. Let that hold. And now we're going to go with the regular A and F. And then we're going to go with the A and C. And then we're going to go with the C and the B. And then we're going to do the F and the A. Take it up to the and we're gonna go with the so that's me reading. The hard part that I have is if you are a good ear player and you're so if you're a good ear player and you throw in a sprinkle, and I'm saying a little sprinkle of seasoning, so we're going to A minor. major 7. So they're trying to please me goes with the you're waiting on the F major 7, which is your F major, which is going to be your F and A. Hold it. But when I did it, it was see, there we go again. Walk it down. My F major 7, instead of going here, was actually, so I didn't go to E, and neither did I do this. I just dropped it down. And they just, when it's written, it's F major 7 or it's F A. It's not even F major 7, it's F A. Excuse me, you're holding it. Sorry. You're holding it. And you got the AC. C7 and B7. FA. That's how it's written. So, to the detriment of us people that can kind of get through it, because that's by feeling. That's by feeling. That's not even what's written. So I want to do that feeling. So that's all by feeling. I can play by feeling. I can get by with just kind of looking at the chord changes, you know, which is a cheat. Which is a cheat given to me by my piano teacher. She said, just follow the chord changes. I wish she kind of never gave me that cheat, because that's how I'm able to do an improv instead of going F-A right here. Instead of going F-A right here, I'm actually going right there because it's such a touchy, sticky subject. But because when we were working on inversions while she was teaching me, my mind picked up very quickly how to, okay, if I don't want to drop it here, let's just play that piece again. Don't go changing. So we're gonna start with the C and G. That's how it's written. let's do what it's asking us to do. We're gonna drop down to the let it hold. Drop that. So we're still playing the correct key. Now we got that pause. Hold it. Jump it up to A. So my mind went there. I just inverted it like she taught me, but it's asking for this. To F major 7, or just to it's asking for that. So I'm not even reading where it says to go up to your A flat, your F and A flat. I'm just reading the F minor chord right here, and my fingers already know what to do with it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because that's, to me, it's a very good cheat. I want to actually look at the notes and be like, okay, that's F A. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why. This is the reason why. So your number one thing, if you want to become a better sight reader, is to recognize your weaknesses. I have a lot of them, as you guys can see. I got a lot of weaknesses. I got a lot of weaknesses that are, they almost feel like superpowers. But if we're working on something that doesn't have the chord changes on it, such as this minuet in G minor, remember, all this is that's also a weakness, because I spent time yesterday playing this piece and combing through it. I started off with the chord changes on the top half. Back to B. A. C. So I spent time doing that yesterday, just going through the treble clef. I'm sorry, going through the bass clef. Going through the bass clef, and then I also took it to the top half, and I started sounding stuff out. You got D, G, that's 4, D. Now we're gonna drop it up to C, I'm sorry, E. And practice your correct fingering. 5, 4, now find out where you are. So we're gonna go with the so you see why it's important? Why it's important to find out where you are? Because I was somewhere down there, but my fingers, because I know by memory now, I'm lost. So I'm gonna be like, okay, where am I? I'm gonna throw my eyes on wherever I think I'm at, and I'm gonna discover that my brain was moving 5 paces ahead of me. So we're gonna go with the B. Start with the C. B. And so what I'm basically doing now is I'm recognizing key components of a song. I'm like, okay, well that's B there. Here's A in the G clef. That A goes all the way up to we got A, C, that's actually D. So if you want to become a better sight reader, recognize your weaknesses first. Recognize your recognize your weaknesses first. My weaknesses are you guys see me point them out. I have a good memory. I'm not gonna say I have a great memory. I have a very, very, very good memory, where I can look at a piece and start recalling what it's doing. Another weakness is my ears. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to shut my weaknesses down. I'm literally trying to shut my weaknesses down where I can just literally solely focus on sight reading. That's all I need to focus on is sight reading. You know, I Get Lonely by Janet Jackson. You know, the first thing I start doing when I look at this is I'm like, okay, we start off with the D minor. I'm gonna do it for the sake of doing it in the left hand, but we got a D minor 7 flat 5, 7, and we want to. That's your flat 5 right there. C minor 9, which is I'm gonna call it a D. So your minor 9 is actually, that's your minor 7. If we want to take that and make that a 9, we got to throw a D in there somewhere. So my piano theory, okay, what key can I eliminate to make that D? I could probably go with the, so we can go with the, what do we eliminate? So basically I'm not even reading the bass clef of the notes. I'm just reading the chord changes, and because I know a little something, I am putting that together, and that's how I start putting together the whole pieces. And I know some of you are saying, okay, it doesn't matter as long as you get there, right? To me, it does matter. To me, it does matter, and here's the reason why it matters. So we got a it's an E. That's what I'm actually reading. That's what I'm actually reading. And here's the reason why it does matter to me is because if you can sit down and somebody put a piece in front of you and say play, like my music teacher told me, those are the people that get the jobs. Like that. Let's see. See, that's what I've read. So recognize your weaknesses. And what you want to do is you want to eliminate those weaknesses. And here's the thing, how do you eliminate these in the memory and solely focus on reading? You got to do it. You have to set aside time where you're going to be like, I am strictly going to read for 1 hour a day. This is what I was telling my wife yesterday. I'm strictly going to read for 1 hour a day. And once I get that reading done, then we can go in and we can, there's a piece I was working on. We can go ahead and do what we need to do as far as if you want to have fun. Then you can go have fun, but you don't want to have fun just yet. You want to do the work. You want to do the work. I know all these glimmering lights and cars and studios, and I know all that looks cool, but that's for when the work is done, in my perspective. So you guys are going to see me doing a lot of reading, a lot of struggling, a lot of squinting. What is that? You're going to see me start to take a piece like and that's my memory kicking in now. That's my memory now. So I want to be able to get to that part and be like, okay, just take it from there. So where we at? So now my memory's lost because I haven't played this in a while. So there's a couple key elements that you've got to practice on. Focus on your weaknesses, number one. Focus on your weaknesses. Or I would say know what your weaknesses are. Mine are hearing, memory, and literally music ADD, where I would just start going from one piece to another. Oh, I gotta learn this, I gotta learn that. And at the same time, that's another improv. Okay, you're such a good player. No, I'm not. No, I'm not there yet. I've seen great players. I was taught by a very great player, a great sight reader, great player, classical pianist. My goal is to get somewhere at the base of that. Somewhere at the base of that. So recognize your weaknesses. Know what your weaknesses are. I wouldn't say eliminate your weaknesses, because in this case my weaknesses are a very, very great strength. This is talent. So we're not going to eliminate those, but we know what they are. So instead of picking up stuff that has chord changes in it, which is cool, I might pick up let me see. I might pick up the blues piano book, which has nothing but, well, no, this has chord changes in it too. I might pick up Uh, Cristo Redentor by Duke Pearson. I'm not noticing any chord changes here. Not there. Really not there. This is written beautifully. I might pick up something like this book by Soul, start pouring through the books and start looking for my weaknesses. Okay, there you got some chord changes there. We don't want to do that song. I want to pick up something where I don't have any handicaps. And I want to read that. And preferably, there's this thing called repetition. So how do we keep our repetition going? Even human nature has, make sure I got all my songs together. Even human nature has chord changes in it. I get lonely. If it's time, just an apple. Recognize your weaknesses, which are very good strengths, and we don't want to eliminate those weaknesses, but let's call this, we want to work around those weaknesses, work around them. And then when we want to work around them, it's kind of like finding pieces that don't have any handicaps that I can use. So we got to eliminate those. And then we want to do repetition. You know, we want to do repetition. Repetition also is very important. We're going to get to another thing also later. Here's that mad ADD coming in. This is it in G minor. So say if I want to take it to C minor. Start on the 5th, and then start on the G. We're gonna start working on stuff on different keys. That's a little, I'm not gonna even call that advanced. So, you know, we got that for, that was it in C. So if I want to take it into, you know, we're gonna start working on playing the same song in different keys. Music is a long journey. Long, beautiful journey. It takes time. It takes dedication. That's exactly what it's going to take when you have to go in and do these auditions to get into these music schools. They're looking for that. Can you sight read? Can you know, there's a very strict criteria. So recognize your weaknesses. Number 2 is to be disciplined. It takes discipline to sit out and actually, you know, I want to sit out and have some fun and play some I Get So Lonely. It hits everybody recognizes, but in order to play some minuet G minor, Chopin pieces, all that takes discipline and time. So you've got to be very disciplined. And what comes along with being disciplined is you've got to be, there's a word, you've got to be, word is slipping my mind now, but it's when you have to be consistent. I don't want you to be consistent like once every month. You need to be consistent on a consistent basis. So recognize your weaknesses, expound upon them, build around them, be disciplined, be consistent. Be consistent. You got to do this every single day. You got to eat, sleep, and breathe the music. Me, I'm doing mine while my wife is asleep. You know, because at the same time, you got to also spend time with your loved ones. You got to spend time with them. So, not unless they're very understanding, and that's a very rare case. I don't know if some of you guys got kids, loved ones, blah blah blah. This music can consume you because you're trying to master it. And with each level of once you think you got it mastered, you be like, well, I'm failing right here. And then you're doing what I'm doing, making posts at 4:30 a.m. on how to become a better sight reader. But those are my okay, so we have recognize your weaknesses, discipline, be consistent, pick up a new piece of music. I have a plethora, a barrage. I have lots of music hanging around me. Classical piano pieces. This, you guys saw me working. Because I play it so comfortably now is because I picked up a new piece and I dug right into it. And I was very consistent. I don't care. You heard this in your sleep. You guys heard me do that for a while. So pick up a new piece of music, and then you got to replay the music, and then you got to flip it around, turn it upside down. If this has helped you, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications, and take the journey with me. Take the musical journey with me. Peace.